Hello there, traders. So let's discuss the Federal Reserve meeting coming up today. We've got obviously the FOMC economic projections as well, and that's what the market participants are really focusing in on this week. They're focusing on the dot plots. You know, are the Federal Reserve going to follow through with the potential 3 cuts this year? Are we going to see any changes to that? I think that's where the risk is if we see any kind of risk to the dot plots in terms of a couple of people looking for a sort of higher than what we're looking at in terms of rates. But in general, not expecting any loud fireworks in this meeting. We can expect the Federal Reserve to hold interest rates at that 5.5%. A couple of things that we've got to keep in mind. If we just go take a look at the United States inflation rate, we can see actually since June 2023 until February 2024, we've kind of stayed within this similar sort of area, around 3%. We reached highs of 3.7% in September, but the last one came in at 3.2%. So we're kind of holding at this area. So although the inflation rate has come down since the sort of peak in June of 2022, we're actually at a little bit of a sticking point at the moment. We're not really seeing anything going beyond that 3% figure right now. And I think that's something that's going to play into the Federal Reserve's minds going into this meeting. Going on to the CME Fed Watch tool first, if we just go and have a little look at the dot plots, obviously the dot plots is what everybody's talking about at the moment. If we look at 2024 here, we can see that they're expecting rates to be around about that 4.75% area, or 475 basis points. What the market is looking for is there any changes to this dot plot? Do we see a couple of these people move up towards maybe more towards the 5% area, or more towards, like I said, that 4.75 area? So that's what the market is really going to be looking at. I think that's where the risk is, in terms of if we do see that, is that a sense, in a word, of that they don't think that they're going to be able to cut rates as aggressively as what people are expecting. Obviously, we're expecting 3 potential rate cuts this year, and if the market doesn't follow through with that, is that what that is suggesting? So I think that's where we're kind of at with the Federal Reserve at the moment. I don't think we're going to see too much, but this is where the risk is for me. Obviously, inflation is a bit of a sticking point. Let's go take a look at some charts. You know, I like the idea of being euro short this morning. If you were in the VIP trading room, I was discussing euro shorts. We looked at the break of this value area from yesterday down towards yesterday's lows. That was the kind of move that we saw in here. So euro dollar, obviously, we've had some ECB data today as well. We had ECB President Lagarde talking, and I do feel like euro has definitely got something to watch in terms of where we're at in terms of this daily chart structure. So I can see, obviously, we've found resistance towards this 1.0950 area. We've been sort of moving to the downside since. Bit of dollar strength driving that market to the downside here. And we're approaching a pretty decent area of support. So if I just scroll left here, we can see that the market found support towards this 1.08 area. So this could be a little bit of a risk for anybody who is long euro at the moment. Could the market kind of spike towards this area in here, towards these swing lows, where we might then see, obviously, a move back to the upside, or a break and a continuation down towards the 1.07 areas. Going up to the US dollar index then, so we're actually approaching a little bit of a high here. We're approaching these kind of 104 spot 25s. We've been finding support at the 102 spot 75 area. Coming up to this level now, I think, again, these highs are going to be super important to the market. Do we drive through it? Can we close above it? If we close above these highs, then the next area that the US dollar index could move to is that 104 spot 90. However, if we break above, fail to close, and close back down towards this area here, is that going to be a little bit of a sticky situation for dollar buyers at that point? And do we see them exit the position and see a little bit of dollar weakness come back into the market? So for me, levels going into this meeting is definitely this 104.25 for the US dollar index. Obviously, that means that if euro dollar was to breach this, or if dollar index was to breach those highs, euro dollar will probably breach these lows, heading down towards the lows that formed back in February of this year. Another market I quite like the idea of looking at recently is dollar CAD. Obviously, we're in a very interesting zone here as well. We've got this kind of 136 handle where the market is kind of trading at the moment. These highs, yet again, the market kind of approaching these key structure points. So interesting to see how the market plays here. Obviously, we've seen a little bit of weakness in the Canadian dollar recently, and if that is going to follow through, then might see a little bit of upside here to dollar CAD. Only thing that we've got really in CAD's favor at the moment, we're starting to see the oil prices starting to rise again. Maybe that is something that CAD could obviously piggyback and see a little bit of strength from. So I'll be interested to see how does the market react to this 136 level as well. Safe trading tonight, guys. Obviously, it's going to be a huge event. Make sure that your risk is appropriate, and hopefully you have a successful news event. Thanks for watching this video. If you did like it, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one.